Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. So I just had some great ideas. I'm doing my walk-in code, trying to be efficient, get some exercise in while I get my coding done. Got to stay in shape. Um, Getting a little pregnant, so got to put a stop to that. Plus, it's good to get out, man. It's good for your stress levels and get the creativity going, get your productivity up. Got to do whatever it takes, right? So I had some ideas. One of the things when you're building code is you definitely want to do your test cases, sort of predict how your code might be used. And you also want to look at edge case conditions where, one second, strange stuff. What if the user does this? What if they do that? What if they try to run it on a computer that doesn't have enough memory? Or, I don't know, just some, try to predict scenarios that might come up so that your code is ready for it and prepared for it so it doesn't crash, right? So I just did a test case where I wanted to start coding and I wanted to check how the code was running since the last time I worked on it. So I just tried to grab a job description from online. It wasn't really the type of job I was looking for. I just went on Indeed and I typed in something about production, something SQL, UNIX. So I typed in some of the key skills I knew I was scanning for. Didn't really examine the job at all, but I could tell from the title it wasn't really the type of job that I was looking to scan for. But I said, whatever, let's see what happens, right? I want to see how the program behaves with different data, right? My program takes input, processes it, and generates an output depending on what the user does, right? So I said, here's a nice case to try something kind of random a little bit. I put it in there, first one, scored really low, it told me the job wasn't a good match. Even though I typed in a bunch of keywords that I was looking for, it only found one instance of like Unix or something, so obviously it didn't score very high. So I ran through the scenario of, okay, let's do this is like shaky camera, sorry about that. I did the scenario of let's do the let's I hold it differently. Let's do the response anyway, even though it doesn't look like it's a good match. And then I did the no, let's not do that second. So it looks good, program runs fine. Then I ran and I found another job description that was actually more accurate. What happened in that case was the job had the word Unix, I think, a whole bunch of times. So it ranked up really high because every time it saw Unix, it's like Unix, 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 right? So that got me thinking, do I really want to rank every single occurrence of a keyword the same way? Someone could write a job description and they keep referencing a certain keyword. What is the value of every time they mention the word, right? Because I'm giving the keywords a value, but I think that value should be relevant to there should be some context towards it, right? So it should be relevant to how many times it's referenced. Because I don't think there's any value of scoring a job higher just because they mention Unix 12 times. At some point in time, I think it's kind of garbage data. So what I thought about doing is rank the skill, all the skills. The rank is based on the instance count. So I was thinking either the first two or first three instances, you get the full score. So each skill has a particular score. So let's say it's 5 points. Every time you see that skill, you get 5 points. But I was thinking after the second time or third time, stop giving it so much power. So maybe after that, either it'll get 1 point or 2 points. I'm leaning towards 2 points because I don't think I'm going to find a ton of jobs that have the same word over and over and over again, key skill set words. But I got to decide. But that's the point. So with each skill set, the score or rate for the score for the skill is set for the first two, second to third times, After that, the ranking drops. So that will sort of drop some of the noise from having, again, the same word used over and over again. The other thing is I thought about, I wouldn't do this for the first version. That I can do for this version. That's a simple change to the logic of how I load the job description. But I was thinking for the next version, what I could do is I could add a more intelligent analysis. A couple of things. I might use some machine learning, I'm not sure. But on a very basic level, I could do some kind of similarity algorithm. Oh, these flies. So I need to get an algorithm that can assess the similarity between texts. So you're gonna teach the job scanner what job descriptions for good jobs look like. The more you give it, the more accurate it'll become. So what it's gonna do is, I was thinking a combination of the standard skill scoring system that I'm using now, plus a similarity index or whatever. So it's going to assess how similar the job description is to really good jobs that you want to target, and it's going to get a score from that. And on top of that, it's going to get a score from the occurrences of the keywords, a keyword count and ranking system, like I described earlier. So the combination of those two things, I think, will improve the accuracy level much, much higher. I'm especially excited about doing analysis on the similarity because that's going to give you some context, because you can't simply look for keywords necessarily. Perhaps I'll do some testing, but there's many jobs that may use the same skills, but the jobs can be completely different. Data scientist versus production support engineer versus who knows what, right? Developer, right? So it'd be better if we could give it as much information as possible so it's smarter. It's not just looking for, oh, they said Unix and SQL. It's a great start, but I think version 2, we're gonna step up the intelligence and therefore the accuracy. I'm gonna do a lot of testing once it's done, first version, and then I'll see what the results look like. Sort of give me some feedback on how good it's doing. So far, it's doing decent. I mean, I gave it a bad job, which had some of the keywords, but it really wasn't, it was not an appropriate job, and it scored low as it should have. So it said this is not a good match when it should have said that. I gave it a job that was a good match, and it did. So far, the test cases I'm doing, it's giving me good answers, but I gotta see about doing more testing to see if how long that accuracy holds up. How many different types of jobs descriptions can I give it, and like give an assessment of how accurate it is. I can probably score it. So I'll do the assessment of the job and see how similar it is. I'll rank it myself, and I'll compare my score to what the program gives me to assess how accurate it is. And then based on that, I'll go from there. So who knows? Maybe I'll find a high level of accuracy with the current model, and I'll leave it at that. I don't think I will. Even if it's a high level of accuracy, I think just for the educational purposes, I think doing the similarity algorithm would be a good idea. And I'd be excited to see that work. So that's what it is. So I'm going to try to see if I can implement the ranking system upgrade, where the first and second, I forget what I said, either the first, second, and third, or first and second instance of the skill gets the full rank. After that, I'm going to lower the rank to another number. That's really pretty easy to do, especially when I'm walking and coding. It's I can't code as well as if I'm in my office, but so I'll try to keep things simple. I think that's a simple enough thing to do. Just got to zoom into my code so I can see it. Walking at an appropriate pace. I don't want to be moving too fast while I'm coding, right? I'll run into people. Anyway, that's all I have, guys. Be well, and I'll keep you guys posted on any future updates on the job scanner program. It's moving along. I'm really excited. I'm probably 80% done. The first two functions are done. The skill loading from the CSV file, the job description um, loading up and scoring, and then the scoring of the job itself. The next step would be ideally the getting the resume loaded, and then being able to extract from the resume to write the response letter. Now that's going to be tricky because I have to figure out. I got to figure out the what do you call it? Whatchamacallit? I still am not sure about the data structure because of the synonyms. I got to figure out a plan for dealing with synonyms. So that's still something I got to work out. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Be well. Thanks for the thumbs up, and until the next episode, I'm out. Ciao. Vigets. Arrivederci. Shout out to Igor, Mega Noob, MJ Shahid. Peace.